Those of you that know me probably wondered, why did I dress like I did this morning, since I had the opportunity to dress informally, and I always like to jump on that opportunity. But I wanted to stress that what we're doing here with the challenge and what you will be doing is extremely important. And I wanted to put forward that sense of gravitas, because I don't take giving away hard-earned tax dollars close $225,000. I don't consider that trivial. So I think we all need to have that same sense as you go about and do your voting process. So a little bit about the challenge. Talking to Courtney to see if he recalled that in the early 90s at the Defense Manufacturing Conference, they were in a pickle because they had lost their keynote speaker. And so they quickly mobilized and went out and got an individual by the name of Burt Rutan. And I think they probably, in a sense, kicked themselves over that decision, because Burt commenced to come in and just basically lambaste the government funders that were there. I don't know if many of you know about Burt, but he was a Caltech aerospace engineer, became a significant expert in composites whenever in the early stages. Got frustrated with working with big industry and went off on his own as this maverick private scientist and developer, and came up with some things like the Voyager with his brother Dick, which was a human propelled aircraft that flew around the world. But he also was engaged in a variety of other activities. He specifically talked at that time, there was a big project going on called the National Aerospace Plane, NASP. And the objective of NASP was to go into low Earth orbit and be able to circle the globe so that we could get from New York to Tokyo in 2 hours. And so there was an extensive investment that NASA was making in this plane. And Burt basically said, well, I could do that for 10 million. We could accomplish that task if I had 10,001,186 dollars. And okay, why such an unusual amount? Because at that time, it cost $1,186 to take out a full-page ad in Aviation Weekly. And so Burt said, and then in that ad, you would say that anyone who can take off, reach low Earth orbit, and then come back and land, that at the end of that runway would be a $10 million prize. Now, of course, those in the room were flabbergasted with what Burt was saying, but he went on to say that there was precedent for this. And he cited the America's Cup. And he said, look at all of the innovation that has come out of the America's Cup, simply to be able to have bragging rights and get a trophy. And he was right. There was significant technology that has been developed through that. So I think, again, Burt was a little bit ahead of his time. But I think we've come to realize that there are opportunities to spur innovation. And so that was the idea as we went forward with okay, so that was the idea as we were looking to see how we could be applying the challenge principle to MTConnect. So NCDMM, in conjunction with AMT and with B'nai Labs, with the Army, approached the Office of Secretary of Defense, OSD Mantech, the manufacturing technology, and where we knew that there was strong support for MTConnect and the integration of MTConnect into the defense manufacturing base. Adele Radcliffe, who is the director of defense-wide Mantech activities, sees MTConnect as a key enabler. Not only does she see it as a key enabler, she showed that support and that commitment by funding this initiative. The President has looked at challenges as a key component of his manufacturing agenda. And so Adele took that opportunity to be able to show the commitment and really assume the risk of sponsoring this activity. So she would have loved to have been here today, and she told me to give her regrets, but that she is very excited about the fact that not only are we going to be awarding the prizes to these applications that we're going to be seeing, but that we are also using the community to help make that choice. So, again, the objectives of this challenge were to look at how we could engage a broader audience and socialize MTConnect and its significance, and focusing on that area of not just the standard development, because as we all know, nobody is really concerned about how the USB operates. They're concerned about what those applications are that are utilizing the USB. And so we wanted to try and stimulate some additional innovative application development, and at the end of the day, enable a more efficient and competitive manufacturing infrastructure and the connectivity that they're also seeing as significant within DoD. So the way that we structured this, and again, this was a collaborative process. It involved the strong leadership of Paul Warndorf from AMT, and the execution on the NCDMM end by my colleague John Wazinski, and again, strong support from Helena Hailu from AMT and Dr. John Snyder from B'nai Labs, who put together the process and looked at other models that were out there. But the structure of this was to go out with an initial challenge that was to put smaller prizes to incentivize people to come up with some innovative ideas on what some application areas might be or application examples. They vetted that through an established process and determined who those initial winners were, used that as a way to be able to further spark the interest of others within the community to go towards challenge 2, which was to create a software application. So there was extensive socializing of the challenge through the press and through a variety of trade shows and participation in things like very off-the-wall activities such as going to gamer shows and trying to get a widespread involvement here. I want you to know that there was an established criteria that these were vetted against, that it wasn't just opinions of a select group of reviewers, but there was an established process that each of these were graded against this rubric. And so here are the things that you see here, and I encourage you to keep this in mind, this criteria, as you go forward and evaluate the the 5 different applications that you'll be seeing more of, or that you can be getting really intimate with on the exhibit floor. So again, the first challenge were 5 cash prizes, each with $5,000 awards. Got some interesting ideas that percolated from that. And then we will be announcing, I assume tomorrow, Courtney? We'll be announcing tomorrow the top 3 cash prizes for the top 3 winners. And again, as you're voting, top vote is 5 points. So the Challenge 2 finalists are, as you see here. We will be having, right after my ramblings here, we will be having them come up to give a little briefing of their projects. And then it's up to you. And again, we ask you to have this sense of gravitas going in, and because this is your tax dollars being invested. So let's be sure to consider this carefully, and please make sure that you're comprehensive in the completion of your ballots. This is not only giving these prizes, this is creating that visibility not only within DoD, but will allow us to further socialize this and bring additional attention to MTConnect, and hopefully continue to get that traction that we need to push it forward.